Okay. This is Diane Locke, Lloyd Dodd, and Mary Saltarelli. Today is September 18th, 2017, and we're interviewing for the first time Mr. Bill Matlock. This interview is taking place at the Oaks in Granbury, Texas, and is sponsored by the Bridge Street History Center as part of its Oral History Project. Oh, you want me to start? Okay, so Mr. Matlock, can you tell us when and where you were born? When were you born and where?
I was born August the 12th, 1926 at Hood County.
Where in
Hood County.
Where in Hood County?
That would be the northwest corner.
Okay.
Which would be on the cross Fall Creek from this school.
Maybe.
But it was out in the Acton area, in the Fall Creek area. Okay.
At home on the ranch.
On a ranch?
Or farm.
Can you tell us were you enlisted or were you drafted?
Oh, I enlisted.
Yep.
Oh, you mean the service?
Uh-huh.
I enlisted. I made a deal with my mother. If I graduated by high school, she'd sign my papers. I went in at 17.
Wow.
Soon after you graduated from high school?
Yes.
Oh,
I graduated from high school in August, and February, the 7th day of February, I went to the Army.
that's my birthday.
What year? Oh,
43,
43?
1943.
And you enlisted into the Army. When did they put you into the Air Force?
Air Corps, Army Air Corps.
It was part of the
Yeah,
Army
yeah,
during
yeah.
World War II. So, were you wanting to go overseas and be involved in World War II to help the country?
Oh, sure,
Is that-
yes.
Okay.
I think so many of us at that time was ready. It's different than it is now, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we were ready to go. Let's get him and get back home.
So you were in the Army Air Corps. Do you remember your unit that you were in?
No, I don't.
What did you
I
do?
knew you was gonna ask.
That's okay. Did I use the right term, Lloyd?
I have no idea.
Unit squadron.
Where did
Squadron,
you-
yeah.
where
What
did
did you do in the military, in the Army Air Corps?
Really, they put us through tests, and I flunked the most of them, so they put me in the Army, if you want to know the truth.
Well, what did you do? Were you?
We were there for, thank you, dear. And we went through some courses on airplanes.
On
Different
what?
airplanes.
Airplanes?
Airplane recognition more
Okay.
than anything.
Did you repair
If
them?
we couldn't tell what they were at a distance, we were in trouble.
Yeah. Well, did you work on planes, or did you?
Some, but very little.
How did you help the Air Force? The Air Corps. What did you do when you were there? You weren't an infantryman, were you? Did you?
No.
Infantry wouldn't.
Talk
Yeah.
about what you did, Uncle Bill. Tell the stories about what you did in Italy.
Yeah. What did you do?
Oh, well, okay, and I went through basic training in Amarillo.
Okay.
And I went, also while I was there, we went to this recognition course and did some repair.
Uh-huh.
I did some repair on B-17s and B-29s.
Okay.
In fact, I rode one 29 to the ground.
Ooh.
So, you know, that was kind of scary.
I bet you were in one that. Wow.
B-24, yeah.
Was that in Amarillo? So then you went. They sent you to Italy.
And at the time, shortly after that, they started coloring the veterans, the flowers that went. They always had too many. Always had too many flowers and too many. So we were back into the Army. And if we had some mechanical experience, which seemed like I always had a tool in my hand, you know, they've sent us overseas to work on, to repair or do away with any equipment that was left.
So where did they send you?
I was sent into a place called Caserta. That's probably not exactly the way they pronounce it, but I was sailed into Naples, and about 50 miles out of Naples.
Okay. In Italy. In Italy.
Yeah, in Italy. And our job at that time was to follow the Army, pick up the wreckage, and either repair or destroy it.
Wow.
And
Tell them why you destroyed it, 'cause you didn't want to make tractors or something out of it, right?
yeah, that was a question I asked. Why don't we let them have it to do their, you know, rebuilding? And no, we would ruin their economy. We have to pick up our stuff and move it out. We don't want it left anywhere.
Because we'd run.
Their economy.
Economy.
Huh.
They build their own.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Can you tell us where you followed them? So you were following the.
Salerno Beachhead, Purple Heart Valley, all the way up to Sorrento, up the mountains and into Rome.
So would he have been in Monte?
Monte Casino?
Yeah. Monte Casino, that big battle where that place was up on the hill. Did you fight in that battle?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I picked up trash out of it, yeah.
You did? You
Yeah.
went there afterward?
A town that didn't have a wall, much higher than this left. So
Wow.
you had no problem seeing the whole,
Wow.
about the size of this table, yeah.
I wanted to say, one day you said you repaired tanks and they took it out to sea and just drove them off, is that right?
Those were cleat tracks, they called them. They were like tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a cleat track was?
I don't, but I bet
Well-
Roy does.
Well, it had driving equipment in front of it, and it looked like a tank on the back of it. And it hauled lots of equipment. And one time, particularly, I remember, I guess I was lucky. They sent me into a place where they were mostly Texans already there. So I fell in pretty good. And I ended up as shop foreman over about, I believe the number was about 3,000 German prisoners that we had.
Ooh.
And we were working them.
To repair equipment.
Yeah, so this is, believe it or not, but they tell me this is the way we get rid of parts. We put them on and then we destroy them all together. I'm so sorry, I'm not always.
That's okay. I got you some water there if you want some. I don't
So we
understand what
would-
you're saying. You would put the parts on a,
Yeah, on these street tracks or trucks or whatever.
uh-huh.
And then they
But
drive
in
them off
this
and see.
particular town she's talking about, I was telling her about the flea tracks that they brought in for us. And there were tons of these little tracks here, and I said, well, we're gonna do that. We will get rid of it, we will put it on all this equipment. They would send civilian inspectors to our shops to check out our work, or the Germans' work, whichever one we were inspecting,
Yeah.
to see if it was done right, and it had to be inspected by them. We drove them to Italy, to Naples, and then we put them on aircraft carriers. And one particular one I remember, it sailed out one afternoon loaded. About 3 days later, it's back the same, empty. Where did it go? Into the Mediterranean? Where would you go? Yeah, right out in the middle. That's where it went. And they had to dump them.
Why did they dump them? To get rid, just to get rid of them?
Get rid of it.
Doesn't matter
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
They would not be worth us bringing them back.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be feasible for us to bring it back and try to rework them and do anything. It'd be cheaper for us to build them than it
Yeah.
would be to do that. So they destroyed them. That's what they did.
Was that
Well,
everything?
now they didn't tell me they did. Now don't get me wrong.
Was that all the equipment, the cleat track, just cleat tracks, or did they do that with all the stuff?
I think most of it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my opinion, yes. But how far does my opinion go? You know?
Yeah. Did they build them in the United States, bring them over, and then you repaired them until they couldn't be repaired anymore, and then they?
They had to be perfect. They had to be. We had to use all the parts.
Yeah. Where did the civilian inspectors come from?
I have no idea.
The United States? I mean, were they
Oh,
American?
yeah. Big shots, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could tell they were wheels when they got off. You know, a wheel runs in circles. Don't it?
Right. I like that.
That's a big wheel.
Uncle Bill, talk about your close call.
My call.
Your close call.
Close call.
He doesn't wanna do that.
I don't think you heard.
Well, one of my jobs was to drive the big trucks. And tied up one morning, and the captain said, Bill, you better go get a load of gas. We're getting run out of gasoline. We had about 3 of the big tank cars, gas. And so I tied on to one of them and went to Naples to the depot and got a load of gas. And started back down, and it was downhill. I don't care where you went, it's uphill or downhill. It couldn't, sometimes I thought it was both ways at the same time, but
Yeah.
but I started down this long hill, and of course I had to gear down, and I had to do everything I could. And this little town right at the base of it down there. So you got to be pretty careful not to lose it.
Yeah.
So when I got in and untied, I had a little bullet hole, but we drove his truck with the open top that had the canvas
Uh-huh.
tops and backs on the side. About this far behind my head, direct shot behind it, was a neat little bullet hole.
Oh, wow.
And I often thought, if he'd been a little better shot, and me going down the hill to that little town
Mm-hmm.
with a tanker load of gasoline,
Yeah.
what would I have done to
Yeah.
some little town?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I would have burned it completely down.
Where did you get the gasoline from? American? Was that from the other American?
Oh, yes, somewhere we set up depots and the ships would come in and we would unload it into those fat places.
Mm-hmm.
And you had different places of it. But ours was Naples. A little further up would probably be Rome or Leghorn.
Can we pause for a moment, please?
And BJ died, left me solo for 1943
That graduating class? Yeah.
as a graduating class.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of sad to go when you're the only one there, you know.
Yeah.
So, but with that class, there was only 36 total.
I didn't know there's that many. I thought ours was the biggest class when we graduated, and we were 36.
Well, now we started with 36, but we had so many who went ahead and volunteered for service that they went down.
Okay, all right.
And so you're probably right.
Now, y'all have a genealogy traced back to England. There's a town of Matlock in England, and they came over.
Yes.
And you have, in fact, Uncle Bill is actually William, and it seems like about every other generation somebody was named William Matlock. And
All the way back, yeah.
Yeah.
founded a town in New Jersey, fought in the Revolutionary War. So we have, then they went to Tennessee, and that's where from Tennessee they came to Hood County.
Mm-hmm.
And they told me to bring that with me today, because he worked it up.
Mhm.
And I have it, it's still right where it's supposed to be on the coffee table.
We'll schedule another interview and we can go over that. How's that sound?
But we go, he traced it back to England, and how many, the 1600s or 1500s?
Yes,
And you did that? That's great, Mr.
Oh,
Hunt.
yeah, yeah.
You may have
Do
it.
you have it with you? Oh, well,
Ah.
don't depend on your sister, because she won't remember it. Bring it yourself.
Well, now, that's exactly what I told Peggy. Peggy said, you don't need to stop and get that because Peggy will have it.
Charlotte will have it, well.
Whoa, don't turn that on.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, did you get that?
I don't remember it, but
I'm sorry, did
That's
I
okay.
imagine?
No, you're fine.
Well, let's see what I've got in years.
If-
Wow.
if y'all know anyone in Pecan Plantation, do you?
Do you have a gloss
Uh, As you drive
Do you have a gloss
to the left, as you go in the gate,
The front gate?
yeah, and in the fall, you look across the river, you can see the stone walls of the house that was built in 1866 or whatever it was.
Whoa. From the front gate of Pecan?
Well, you have to go in the front gate, turn to the east, and go around till you get to the river, and you can see across the river. You can't do it in the summertime, there's too many leaves.
Yeah.
But in the fall, you can see all the way across. And I've only seen it one time, would you believe that?
Wow.
Since there
would
were
like
no
a copy
records
of
of
all
a
that
family
for the
days
museum.
like
Yeah.
1560, and the old church.
1560.
Yeah,
And he's got pictures too.
1200 as we begin our story, so about 1200 is where we start. And yeah, I got lots of it.
Can we get a copy of all that for the museum?
Sure.
They're,
What would be the best way to do that? Scan it?
I have a copy I can scan on at work and send to you.
you,
Do you have all the pictures?
Is that a picture of you you joined?
Okay.
When you joined the army, is that a picture of you?
of me? Yeah,
Where is I saw? I just
I
saw.
don't
I
know.
have that.
What you looking for?
I thought it was so cute. Look at that. Look at
Yeah.
that baby. Look at that baby. Maybe he's younger than that though.
Ah, oh, so handsome.
What?
And that's my grandparents in there I was talking about. We're the last.
Yeah, it would be great to get a
Oh,
copy
yeah.
of all of this.
All
Yeah.
of those people
Copy
from
of
Paul
the
Creek.
pictures?
No, I'll scan that whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be
And we can-
wonderful.
Yeah.
I can get it from you then.
And you can put it with the interview.
Here's the first old man that came over here,
That's the one I was talking about. There's
Anything
not very many
else?
from
Matlocks.
Arkansas
He didn't
down.
talk a whole lot about the
I'm
war.
talking about
Should
the
we go
boys
back to
that have the Matlock
list?
names.
Hmm?
I'm talking about the boys that have the Matlock
Really?
names.
Talk to
Out of
them.
all
Oh,
of them.
yes, yeah.
There's only four.
So we did pretty good.
Huh?
I got to go to
Four
the honor
with
flight,
the
and that's
Matlock
kind of what
name?
brought some stories out.
Three.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this,
Five.
Yeah, those were the boys
Yeah.
that.
all these had the name.
I'm talking about their
Oh,
children now.
Here are the Hollands.
Oh,
They're-
yeah,
they're
oh,
religious
yeah,
as
oh, yeah.
With that
There's a
base,
bunch
you
of
should
Hollands
have
up there.
35.
Yeah.
And there's only
Martin,
five.
Martin and Tom are the only two that,
Right.
That's my granddad.
And of those, only two boys from Tom and only three boys from Martin.
right,
There should be, if it's like me, they'd have 35, 40.
yeah,
Is
that,
that your
I didn't
great-grandmother, or-
understand.
Yeah, yes, correct.
What you're getting at. I don't know.
There's
This-
a little William, I guess that's
Yeah.
great granddad.
Oh, this is wonderful.
This old,
Yeah.
And he has a number.
it
of
looks like
names.
burned out,
Oh,
but
wow.
it's all we have of the, where they first landed at, on the Brazos Bank.
This is wonderful. You
That's
did a
just
lot.
all we have of it.
When did you do all this, Mr. Matlock?
I don't know, little out, little in, a whole bunch of.
You did a lot. This is great.
I've got, Dorothy did a lot of it.
This is my parents' wedding picture.
And it's what?
Our parents' wedding, actually it wasn't a wedding picture. They were married at the courthouse and they went back several months later.
And got a picture.
Got a picture.
Aw.
Mother, did you talk about your grandmother and what you believed and that was proven wrong just last year, all these years of your life, and her, kind of your mom's story? Because she has a compelling story.
Yeah, she has a very, and I'm not sure that it's wrong, but,
Well, it is, because your genes don't prove it correct. but-
okay. My mom was an orphan. Well, actually, that's not true. My mom was abandoned with there was 5 in the family, and she's next to the baby. In Waco, in 1905, 1910, I'm sorry, 1910.
What was her name, Charlotte?
Her name at that time was Daisy Dean.
Okay.
And let's see, the oldest got married when they were abandoned. The boy, a lady at a boarding house took him and said, I'll take him and feed him, and he can get the wood and stuff for me, he can work for me. So that's 2 of them. The other one, coming on down the line, was awarded the state because they said somebody dropped her on her head. I don't know. Anyway. So that left the 2 babies, my mom and my Aunt Belle. Someone came from New York City and adopted Belle. And Mom said, I can remember her leaving, so she's about 5. And they said, why don't you take both little girls? And she said, I don't want that little girl, she can remember.
Oh,
And Mom said, yep, I was gonna remember all right.
Mm.
So anyway, they found each other later, but it's another story. But so then Mom was, so a couple in Waco took her, and she's a really good home. And they gave her Christmas, and she had little tables and chairs, bought her a coat, and she said, I remember the muff, you know, used to
Yeah,
be
oh
this.
yeah. I used to have one.
So she said it was great. And then the flu came through in 19, what would that be? 12 or 13, 15, somewhere in there.
I think it was 1918, wasn't it?
17,
Yeah.
18,
Yeah.
last couple of years.
Okay.
When the big flu epidemic happened. But-
Okay. It didn't quite work out the way I remember.
Okay.
The dates.
Well, it could have been earlier. I mean, I'm
Anyway,
sure.
the lady died.
Her mother, her adoptive mother.
Yeah, but she was never really adopted. Okay, then he remarries, and they moved to Hood County. And the lady that he remarried, didn't really want Mom.
Oh, gosh.
So this man came by, and he said, I'll take her then. And his name was Allison. And
Yeah, Ed Allison.
Ed Allison.
Ed and,
And he takes her home, and they don't talk to their wives. They just bring Mom home, the way she explains it. And they go, I don't want a girl. Why are you bringing the girl home? So she tries to do everything she can to you know, have a home. And then she married at 15, 16, 14. I don't.
Early anyway.
Yeah.
And my brother was born when she was 16.
Wow.
And she had a tough life. Really tough life.
Yeah.
And,
Wow. So tell us what it was you believed.
well, we were always told that she was half Cherokee, or and my dad's family made a big deal of it. You married a half breed. You remember that, don't you?
yeah.
We were not quite good enough, I guess. So anyway, just about you that Becky's talking about, I did my DNA from
Ancestry.com.
yeah, and I'm mostly English, 68% English.
0%.
Isn't that funny? I know. You find out these stories you've been told for years and years.
Oh, he's yours.
Now he keeps saying that we are Cherokee, don't you?
Yes.
See there, and I read something about this. I don't know if it's true or not, but the base for the DNA goes, I don't know how far back. I don't know about DNA, but that's also the DNA for Indians. So if you go far enough back, you're going to just skip the Indians and go back to the basic
Well,
DNA.
I guess we all.
Well, y'all come over here and was willing to do mine and,
They did.
huh?
I thought they did do yours.
I never could get enough.
But anyway, now, let me tell you a story about her finding her baby sister. And there's two families. There's her father had two families. He had 4 children the first time, 5 children the second time. The first family lived in Jordanton, Texas, which is close to San Antonio. There's a preacher came through there. His name was Burnside. And he kept saying, you look like my daughter-in-law. You look exactly like my daughter-in-law. And she said, well, we lost a baby, you know, this is my Aunt Mabel we're talking about. So they decided that we were related. I don't know how they figured that out.
Where did the people come from? They came into Hood County from
What people, these people?
the people, yeah, the people that said you
Up
look
north
like my.
somewhere.
Okay.
Up north, I don't know
Were
where.
they visiting?
What,
He was a
live in the
preacher.
house?
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Burnside.
Oh, I don't, they,
And now-
California.
See, we don't know whether we're related to him or not, but when I did my DNA, this lady called me and told me that,
That's,
she said it showed up that we were
Three
cousins.
boys.
Cousins.
So I guess they did find she did find her sister.
Oh, wow. But they never saw, did they see each other?
Hell yeah,
The
Aunt
preacher?
Belle moved to Granbury for quite a while, and They looked alike, they
Yeah.
really did.
They did.
And,
They did.
I
They
wrote
looked
a little
alike.
story for her daughter recently. They asked me to write something about her, and I said the first time I ever saw her, I came home from school. It was the last day of school, and these people ran out the door and said, "Where were your cousins? Where are your cousins?" And I go, "If you're my cousin, where have you been all this time?" But I guess they were my cousins.
That grandmother was so happy to have a sister, she claimed her no matter what. Just
Yeah,
happy to have a
yeah,
sister.
yeah.
Well, how she found the others, when when they were living in Waco, a boy from the first family worked with my grandfather.
Okay.
And, so when they were taken to a ward
Sweet boy.
in Waco,
Me and my two brothers.
Yeah.
they were taken to a ward, and he knew where they were, because he was living there with one. And so he kept up with mom and so that's how your Della is a cousin, because every mother's half, what would you say, half niece? I don't know how to explain it.
Mhm.
But they found each other through that brother, Della's father. But as far as having to find Belle, that's just because the preacher said you look just like my daughter-in-law.
That's a small world. It comes out to be a small world, doesn't it? You think we're,
I was gonna-
Uncle Bill, you have anything else you want to add? Uncle Bill,
What?
you have anything else?
You know, there's one story in this, you know, that I think is good.
what's that?
I want to talk about my brothers. So I have the three brothers. They have, my oldest brother died when I was 18. He just came home from service. And he has two children. They don't know him too well. Mary Matlock Swain and Stephen Matlock. They live in Fort Worth. And then my brother Dean, more or less lived in Weatherford. He has three children. Barton Dean Matlock, Robert Matlock, and Kim Matlock Chilcutt. And I've told y'all that I have 5 children. I met my husband at the Baptist Church, Acton Baptist Church. He's from Louisiana. And we have 5 children, and most of them are here. So I thought I'd put that in there.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
And that's my youngest.
Yes, right?
I want to say my baby, but I did.
No.
What were you gonna tell us? You said there was a story in there you wanted to tell us?
Well, it didn't happen to the group of, just the group that they all with, that was in Arkansas, wasn't it? They had problems with black bears up in Arkansas, and they up with the hills back in there. And one day, one of them had torn up their house. And then the next day or two, a son that was missing,
Ooh,
and they never found him. Found
wow.
bones.
I thought that was about the cougar.
Hmm?
I thought that was a story about the Black Panther, not a bear.
Was it Black Panther? Oh, yeah, well, okay.
And they found the Panther's den, and they found bones of a child.
Oh, wow.
And then he woke up when they were living in I guess.
And he came back and had to find it, yeah.
Yeah, and he woke up and something was licking his face,
Mm.
and it was real dark in there. So anyway, he started fighting it, and it was the panther came back, and he had to kill it inside the cabin.
Mm. Oh my
Is
gosh.
that right?
Yes.
And this is a
almost-
Matlock? This is one of your
Yeah.
ancestors?
Well, that's, the fight was him, I think.
Yeah.
I think his wife helped him some, but that cougar
Wow.
was gonna have him another dinner.
Yeah. Wow. That's scary. Well, should we? Thank you very much for your time. And if you think of other things you want to tell us, you let us know. We'll come back. Okay?
That's generally the way.
So
You'll think of stuff after we leave.
I think we're.
He mentioned his classmate Julian Massey. Have y'all interviewed them?
Why?
Julian wrote a book called Back Then. Well, he did, his daughter-in-law did. Have you heard it?
I've seen it, yeah.
Is that Christine Massey?
Christie's.
Yes.
And I think when he describes Fall Creek, he does a good job of describing how they lived.
Okay, when you were there.
That's great.
Naples was complete mostly for about 4 or 5 blocks from the dock was bad. Ships had to be guided into Naples Bay because of so many sunken ships that was already there. So, but they had certain routes that they would pull in. But the tugs would pull them into where they go.
Since that was a seaport, were most of the Italian people leaving that area, or did they stay?
Most of them were very, very friendly, very nice.
Were they?
No problem. We never had much problem with
The Italian?
civilian, no. In
Now,
fact, we
what
were treated very well.
What year was it when you were over in Italy? Was it still?
43 to 46.
Wow, you were there a long time. Did you stay in Italy the whole time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, until, how many of you remember this song? I actually don't remember the title. I don't remember the title.
A song
Yeah.
that was popular during World War II?
Yeah. What a day. First time I ever heard it.
What a day.
The name of it was What Are They?
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not.
Sentimental Journey.
Oh, yeah.
They were playing Sentimental Journey the first time I ever heard it. As we were going up the gangplank in Lego in Italy, coming home.
Aw,
Made it a pretty sentimental journey, it did.
I bet.
bet.
Yeah. How did you feel about going home? How did you feel about going home?
I was ready to go home, man.
Yeah.
I had an offer to stay, and I don't know. Maybe I should have, I don't know. Captain said we're going back to another company, so you go with me. I'll give you some rank, so I thought about it a time or two, and I said, no, I better go home.
What rank were you?
I was T4, which is the same as a buck sergeant.
Okay.
He had two brothers that were also in the war. They both passed, but I'm not asking about.
So you had two brothers who were also participated in the war?
Yes,
Were they younger or older?
older.
And which theater were they in?
Maybe one.
Where did they fight?
As far as I'm concerned, see, my older brother, Martin Jr., he was sent to
Alaska.
Canada, wasn't he?
Alaska.
Alaska. He was he was there all the time, wasn't he? You know, because we thought Germany was going to
Come through Alaska, or Russia might, yeah.
and he was there all that time.
Huh.
I'm sorry, but I thought he also drove a supply truck. You know, we were fighting over the island.
Probably not.
I thought he was taking supplies on the truck. for the fighting man on that. What was the name of that island?
Aleutians.
Specifics.
Aleutian?
Aleutian Islands.
Mentioned.
Well, I thought he took supplies to Aleutians Island.
You may know more about that than I do, and that's, she, because I was gone all that time,
Okay. Well, that's what I thought.
yeah.
He drove, they all were tractor drivers all their life, and they were all good truck drivers. They could back a truck in this much room on each side, up a mile long.
Right.
I said,
Yeah.
y'all could all drive a truck, all of you.
All
three.
mechanical.
Yeah.
Well, we learned that, we learned that out here on that
Farm.
farm,
I know.
back in that
But that, they all,
wagon,
Did Uncle Dean?
What about your other brother?
he, was in the merchant seaman, is that what you call them? And I understand he went in to battle a couple of times, didn't they, where they went in to pour it under fire.
I want to explain something about my middle brother. He joined, so he left home, and he's the baby. So this guy left, and my older brother was already in there. That left my middle brother at home. And Dad got him a farm deferment. Do y'all know what that is?
Yeah.
But every time he'd go to town, they'd say, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you a coward? What's wrong with you? Why aren't you fighting? So he tried to join. He couldn't because he had the farm deferment. So he joined the merchant marines.
Oh, okay.
And that was more dangerous. You know, there was 22 or more ships that sunk just outside of New York, wasn't it? From the merchant marines. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they said the Germans called it the Great American Turkey Shoot because they were backlight. They'd have backlight from the city, and when the ships would go by, they'd take those U-boats.
And go out and get
Yeah,
him.
and I forget how they finally learned how to defend it, but there was a lot of loss. So it was in a very dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they were not allowed to fire back.
That might be true too. I don't remember that.
They,
But he
they
said,
carried no guns,
Mm.
the merchant seamen.
and then when
They
they,
had to have ships to protect them, not them.
and then he went to the islands where the Japanese, after we sort of went to Germany, his ships would go there. And he said, I remember being on the ship that had a flamethrower, and they would burn the island, and these Japanese were chained to the tree. And he said we could hear him screaming. He said it was horrible. That was a horrible experience.
Wow.
So I'm telling you what I heard as a child.
Yeah, that's great.
Um,
Tell your name into the
Oh,
camera.
I'm Charlotte Garrett, Charlotte Matlock Garrett, and I was born in Cleveland. I was the only one born in the hospital. The others were.
Tell your relationship to
This is
Mr.
my
Ryan.
brother, my baby brother. Well, I'm the baby, but anyway.
He's your older brother, right?
But,
And your birthday, Charlie?
Yeah,
February the
I'm the
7th.
one that used to carry you on my shoulder, you hold my hair, and we'd take off.
February the 7th, 1936. And I'm 9.5. I always said 10 years, but 9.5. And
Bill, tell us about growing up in Hood County.
It was what, huh?
Tell us about growing up in Hood County.
Well, now I'm gonna tell you something that I didn't do much growing up in the Hood County. Because when I got out of school and went straight to service, I lost a lot of good party time. About the time I wanted,
What school did you go to?
what,
What elementary school did you go to?
at Fall Creek.
Fall Creek? And then you came in?
Oh, big old school, big old building. We had 3 rooms and we had 3 grades in each room. And we had 15-minute classes. Yeah, we had no books and labs, no nothing.
Wow.
So we got a beautiful education, yeah. They call it, I tell them I got my education at the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. I imagine that the discipline, we were talking about that the other day, discipline was pretty strict, wasn't it?
Discipline?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was kind of tough. So you grew up with it, yeah.
Now, when I went to school, and you realize it's 10 years later, and he's graduating when I started, so when I went to school, there was 2 rooms. We had the first and fourth who one, and eights who the other, and then they went on to high school. Now, he only went to high school 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
I would have gone, they also added another year while I was in school, so I would have gone 4 years, but we moved to town, to Granbury, when I was in the 5th grade.
So you went to Granbury High School?
Yeah, but I only went 11 years. I was in I think I was the last class. The class following me
Whatever.
went 12 years.
Hmm.
I believe that's right. But I only went 11 years to
So-
graduate.
Did you return to Hood County when you got out of the service, when you came back on that ship?
Yes, ma'am.
How long did you stay here?
That was
How long did you stay here?
till from 48 to 52, 4 years.
And where'd you go after that?
Went to Abilene.
Where did you work?
Would you like the story on that one?
Yeah, we would.
You need to tell that too.
I worked for, well, I went to school with R.E. Durham, who had the Chevrolet.
Right.
So I got back, R.E. said, Bill, come over and set me up a parks department. I don't have one. You can do that. Yeah, okay. So he ordered all these bins and I set them up and give him his first order. Well, that played out and didn't need me anymore. So I woke up one morning, no job. I flipped a coin. Heads I go east, tails I go west. It was tails.
Ask the children.
Pardon?
Ask about his children.
Oh, okay.
That's what?
About your children.
How many children do you have?
How many children?
Yeah, when did you get married? Tell us about your family.
Why don't we just skip over that?
No, it's just, this is for a history.
What? Oh, I got married in service, which I realized it was a big mistake. But anyway, I had one child by her.
Was that in Italy?
No, that was it.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I came home too, or I stayed over there. So I guess.
He had a daughter here at home. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
So after I moved to Abilene, we divorced. And I found me another one in Abilene.
There you go.
But really the love of my life, I left it mid, you know.
The lady you married in Abilene?
Yes,
What was her name?
her name was Dorothy. Dorothy Alexander, she was an Alexander.
And did she have any children?
She had one, Peggy, which I still have, a daughter here, Peggy. In fact, she's living in my house back over here.
And how long were you and Dorothy married?
52 years,
Wow.
Wow.
She was the love of your life.
yes. And she's been gone now 10 years in April, 9 years in April.
And what did you do in Abilene? Where did you work there?
Mostly I went to buy, most of the years I went to work for a little company called Lifesavers, Candy with a O. And they started buying this one and that one and this one, till they ended up with Nabisco.
Oh, wow.
And,
Lifesavers Candy you worked for?
He had good Christmas. He used to come home with the trunk full of candy.
Yeah.
I had
Your favorite uncle.
some nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Oh, they just love to see me drive down. And they'd say, they'd come running out, how do we get the trunk open? I said, well, it'd take a key.
Did she say, could you say hello first?
Bless their heart, I'd load them up.
Remember that striped gum? What was it called? You remember, what was that gum called with the stripes? You loved it.
What?
What was
Fruit,
it?
Fruit
the
stripe
fruit
gum?
stripe gum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have put it on the market, yes. It was something new.
Yeah.
And we sold beachfront gum in this area. Well, up north, that's the leading gum.
Mm-hmm.
Down here is some company called Wrigley.
Yeah, Wrigley's.
I hate to say it, but But now, do you know they own Lifesavers? I can't believe it.
Who does, Wrigley's?
Yeah. You pulled them out.
They also made strap toys. Toys on it, like giraffes and. On Christmas, he came with toys too.
Oh, wow. What did you do for Lifesavers?
Savers was just,
Salesman?
yes.
Yeah.
The letter, how many years? About the latter 15 years, I sold to vendors, people with big vending machines and so forth, large hardware. And a lot of that was by a truckload lot. I'd have to go in and you gotta figure 45,000 pounds of candy and figure it, odd this and that to make up the weight.
Wow.
I want to tell a story about you bought a house in Little Rock. Yeah, you finished it.
What?
You finished the house in Little Rock. The man asked you what you did for a living.
Oh, you.
Tell us that
That
story.
was in St. Louis.
Oh, was it? Okay, wrong town.
In St. Louis. We moved into St. Louis and Doug said, I can't go, cause when they call me and they say, Bill, we need you in certain places. I'd say, when? They say, yesterday or tomorrow. So I'd have to take off. She said, I can't go, you just have to find your own house and move, So I did, I found one I liked, and so I had pretty well bought it before she got there. And then that afternoon, I was out in the back working, putting out some trees that I had bought. And it was in a cul-de-sac, and on houses there was about 6 of us come into the backyard together. I had one over here, he came over and told me his name and so forth. And I was pretty busy. I don't know. And he said, you know, I'm an educator. I said, oh, good. He said, I'm not just teach kids, I teach teachers. I'm really an educator. Good. He said, what do you do? I said, oh, I still should go. I know we bought a spec house, and a spec house was the one that they built, you know,
Right.
to show. He says, I know what the price of that house was. How do you afford a house there selling chewing gum? Well, that kind of got to me, you know.
Yeah.
So I stopped down, I looked at him, and I said, mister, I sell one hell of a lot of it. I think he seen me down on the street corner with a pack
Selling-
of chewing gum and a pencil.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute, I had to prompt that.
That is cute. When did you come back to Granbury in Hood County?
88.
Did you retire here?
Well, I was kind of forced, wasn't it, to retire.
You were?
We had moved to Houston because my daughter was down there, and of course, Dorothy had to go to Houston. I didn't want to move there in the first place, and phone rang, and my brother, just older than me, he said, Bill, Dad burned his house down, better come see about it.
Oh,
So I come up to show that he burnt the house, the car, and everything else, didn't
Your father?
Yeah.
he? Yes.
You can find some newspaper articles about that if you're interested.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What year was that, 88?
Yes.
I didn't know, so.
Betty Hodges, a local,
And I told him, I said, you know,
Oh,
I'm
got
really?
key to the city for it.
Aw.
James Hodges' mother.
Yeah.
I'm retired. We'll just rebuild it. Well, I thought we would do a joint venture, you know, to build a house. He did a little, and I did a little, so we decided we could do it.
You and your father?
No,
Me and my
Brother.
Brother Dean.
Okay.
Dad didn't care. He didn't. He said, "Here it is. Y'all do it if you want to, you know." So we did. We sat down.
He's 90, Dad's 93 now.
Yeah, said, "Well, let's do some planning here, you know." So we got a cardboard out of a shirt, you know,
Mm-hmm. Right.
and we drew that house out on that cardboard and built it. Yeah.
Where is it?
What's a long way?
102
It's
South
a
Lambert.
block and a half off the square.
102 South Lambert. And what year did you build it?
88. 88. Well, yeah.
I'll have to go by there.
That's a
Wait,
little,
I decided that I had to take care of Dad.
Well, there's some family, you know how families are. We had some family squabbles. So he bought my brother out and moved in to take care of Dad.
Yeah, yes,
I think that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And Dorothy came up here?
yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna move to no small town. I don't like small towns.
And she ended up having more friends than any of us.
She had more friends here in one day than she did all time. So
she took,
lived in Houston.
the two of them told me to play bridge, and they went to bridge clubs, and I play bridge now because they drug me into it.
I did what?
You drug me into the bridge clubs.
I sure did, didn't I?
Mother, I'd like to hear what it was like growing up in Fall Creek back in the day, and there's a lot of old families from there that are still around. What old families did you grow up with that are still here in Granbury?
Well, most of them that I went to school with were related. The Masseys were related to the Johnsons, were related to the G's, were related to the, who else?
The G's were related to Granddad also somehow, cousins or...
No, kind of, maybe, yeah. But I felt that when I was going to school, everyone was cousins except me. See, when they went to school, they had people their own age going too, so they had cousins going to school. The Matlocks, there was Jarrett and Rochelle, and
Oh, my goodness, yes.
and the Hensleys, you had all the Hensleys.
Yeah, all the Hensleys, yeah.
But when I went to school, they were all in the service, they were all gone. But anyway.
And most of my close friends are now are gone. Julian Massey that I went to school with were from the first grade to high school. B.J. Richmond that did the same thing.
So anyway, I went to school and we had the first and fourth grade in one room. And I guess if you missed anything in the first grade, you got to hear it again 3 more times. And Mrs.
Yeah.
Flora, her name is Flora Johnson, and her daughter,
For Virginia?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
well, that's her daughter, and Flora Virginia is her daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
But her mother's, I think her name was Flora too. I'm not sure about that. But we always did Mrs. Johnson, so.
Yeah.
And she was our teacher, and she loved art. I still to this day love art because
Each
she had all these
year,
projects.
Wasn't Unibeth, Lewis, wasn't she a teacher there too?
No, the other room was Mrs. Kenson,
Okay. That's-
and I don't know her first
Who?
name. Mrs. Kenson. She used to have a cafe after she got through teaching at the cafe on the square.
oh yeah, she was in Kizzy forever, yeah.
Yeah, but she was, for the 4 years I went there, she was the principal, I guess you'd say, and she taught 5 through 8. 5, 6, 7, that'd be 4, yeah.
What did you do on the farm? What did
I
Granddad...
was gonna ask.
Yeah, what did he raise?
Farm.
Yeah, what did you farm?
I don't even like the word, I don't even particularly like the word farm.
You did too much of it? What did you do on the farm? Did you help your dad?
Well, you know, there was a time when
Well,
they
you
had,
know, mostly I helped mother. I did a lot of my mother's. I did a lot of cooking and sleeping and helping her. But in between, I would get hooked to the farm, yes. We had all 100 acres of peanuts, I remember one year.
Wow.
We had, that's back when you dug them up, shook them by hand, loaded them, and you know, and
Oh,
hauled them
wow.
around. It was rough. Dad he had a peanut thrasher and a hay baler. Well, he also had 3 boys who had to run those things. Yeah.
My husband grew up in West Texas, and
Cotton.
cotton, but by the time he got to the end of the row, it needed repair, and so they have to get off and fix the tractor to get it back up the next row, and then you'd have to repair it again. Is that kind of what you ran into too?
Well, maybe not, but we had to keep the equipment running more than the tractors and so forth.
So you had a lot of pre-training before you even went into the service.
Oh, yes,
that's why they
oh,
were
yes,
truck
ma'am.
drivers.
Yeah, that's why you ended up repairing equipment and driving trucks.
You start out in the winter and you turn the land over, you know.
Mhm.
And then, come to find out, the sand would blow away, but I'll get to that story later. And then you plant in the spring, plant the peanuts, and then you had to hoe them out, cut the weeds out. We hope to get through by the 4th of July. That's what you call laying it by. You got the weeds out and you lay it by. Now in the fall, they took a plow and they rolled it over again. And then they took them and he said, shook them. And then peanuts grew in a cluster with a vine on top. They shook them and they put one vine here, the one behind it on top of that, and the one in front of it on top of that. Then you walked up 3, you shook that one, you put one on top.
Wow.
And I don't know what you call that, shocks? Okay, now we got this all done. You take a wagon, or sometimes sled, you drive down and they take the pitchfork, they put it over on this sled till it's full. And then you drive to the thrasher. And then you take the pitchfork again and you throw them into the thrasher and it shakes it and gets the nuts off because they're ready to come off. They go into sacks, which the ladies would sew up. The hay would go on into the hay baler. And as we were told the other day, Dad wanted the hay bale to weigh about 100 pounds or more. And then after it comes out, and then you stack it up, because it's all labor intensive.
Yeah.
And then you get the tractor and you pull the hay to the barn. Now the hay has to go up in the top of the barn. That's why you need these boys.
But he made the bales weigh 100 pounds and you had to hoist them up.
Dad would leave when I'd go unscrew them, well, they'd weigh about 70, 75. The first thing he'd do when he got back there is go pick up a bale and see how heavy it was.
So that,
So when you bought the farm and we moved down
Okay.
and grew peanuts, you had 4 daughters and 1 son, so you tried getting the daughters out hoeing cucumbers and the peanuts. That didn't work out as well.
that was really, y'all remember it being torture, what it's supposed to be. That was really a discipline.
Oh, well, I sure
what?
remember that.
Ah.
If y'all made all kinds of noise, we'd say, go down there where those cucumbers are and chop those cucumbers out of the peanuts.
So you bought the farm and grew peanuts?
Yeah.
Wow. And you got away from the farm.
Yeah.
I loved the farm, I really did. I loved it. I loved the
You
smell
know,
of
if
the
you get
dirt.
peanut hay wet, it turns dark, and that would cut the price about half, you know.
So peanuts make hay. I didn't know that. Huh.
Not the
So,
most nutritional hay, but it's-
when we was working on our own, I could look at Dad long in the evening, and he'd start looking up. And I know good and well we're gonna haul hay all night.
He could tell it was going to rain.
or whether it would or not, he was looking up. But I loved it. We ended up, when Becky was 10,
No, we bought it when I was 69, when I was 5. We bought the farm. I went back to the farm.
okay, but we bought the ranch,
Oh, yeah, I was
9.
10, yeah.
I loved it. Like I said, I loved the smell of the dirt when you turned over. I just loved it. But I found out also that I'm not strong enough. I thought I was. I think that's what's wrong with my back now. But we had cows and they'd almost kill me. They'd run over me.
Well, you were doing it single-handedly out in Morgan Mill.
Yeah, I ran it single because my husband had work. So the only help I had was the children. And I get up, I'm gonna brag on them. I get up in the morning and go count the cows, you know how you have to do, he's shaking his head. They told me, Mom, you work so hard, we're gonna do the house. And one week Becky would cook all the meals. And the next week Molly would cook all the meals. And Karen didn't like to cook, so she did the laundry. And
Wow.
And my oldest was already married and left by this time, and my son fed the cows, watched the cows, and, you know.
Yeah.
Now, don't talk
So they all
about
helped
him, he's
you.
a good boy.
He's a good boy, I'm not talking about him, I couldn't help it without him. But they made, so I ran the ranch, it was almost a section by myself. But I found out I can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm not
there's some-
physically able to do it.
Yeah.
There is things I miss from the county that when I was a little boy.
What do you miss?
Little things like a head rising down the Brazos River. Nobody here has probably seen one. I have. I've seen several.
What is it?
When it rained real heavy and there was no dams, you would have a water coming down the Brazos River, could be anywhere from 3 feet to 6 feet high,
Wow.
rolling, and it would clean out all the gullies and
Yeah.
they'd wash outdoor houses down the water river.
Yeah. Wow.
Just be a
Good.
rolling water of logs and stuff down there.
And Fall Creek would do that too. I've seen Fall Creek
Yeah, well,
higher than the bridge. You know that bridge you drive over?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen it higher than the
you
bridge.
haven't seen it do the same thing, but where we lived, we could hear it roar.
Fall Creek.
So we would go
The
this
river?
way to see it, and then we'd cut through on the other side and catch it on the other side.
There was a bend in the river. Yeah.
Yes, it was just a big bank of water,
Yeah. Wow.
because there was nothing to stop it. You had no dams or no.
I remember too, Dad telling us, don't ever camp out on the bank of the creek. You know, because
Yes,
he said, when you go to sleep, and you won't know this water's coming until you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's too late to get out of it. So he said, get up on the bank, if you're gonna camp out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's things like that
Wasn't there a
that I
crossing?
remember.
You talked about a crossing from Acton Fall Creek to Membrino. There was a crossing there,
But what, honey?
wasn't there?
You grant.
Actually, the river would go down so low, you could cross horseback. I don't think you'd ever been across.
You mean where we crossed over?
To Membrino? But Granddad didn't want you doing that, you said.
Yeah, well,
We own property over there.
the farm that the power plant is sitting on, the gas plant, I think it's on Dad's old farm. Well, it really belonged to my grandmother. And when she passed away, Dad inherited that one.
See, she's Sarah Ann Walters. If you've ever been to Membrino, you know, there's Bill Walters Road and,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Well,
was the
that
family.
goes all the way back to John, where John was married and lost his wife and child. Well, and then he moved back home.
Which John?
That's his uncle.
Oh, okay.
My
What
dad-
was his last
My
name?
dad's brother.
So
Matlock.
how long
Yeah,
have
John Cleveland.
how long have the Mitchells been, how many generations back have the Mitchells been in Hood County?
You mean Matlock?
I mean Matlock.
Yeah.
They came here in
What
1866.
year did you think, I thought of this the other day, what year did you think they came to Hood County? What year have you heard the Matlocks moved to Hood County?
You know, I don't really remember.
Well, I've heard they moved here in 1860. That people say, we've been here since 1860.
I don't know, have we got any of it on the information?
Yeah, that genealogy says 1866. which is-
66.
1866?
Okay, then
That's about right.
okay.
Where they
Because I thought
settled.
about this is not right, the 1860 is not right.
They settled on the Brazos River, on the far side of Fall Creek, if any of you know the area.
Mm-hmm.
We're going across Fall Creek and up the hill, and they settle back in there.
How many acres did they buy there with grandpa and all the
They
boys.
had 500 and something and 700 and something
Mm.
all together.